Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. A little fun-filled action this morning again. Stock markets are trying to go down. We'll see. I mean, they are down, of course, but we'll see how long that lasts. They haven't. They rebounded last night, and I saw these headlines like, dollar getting crushed, things like that. And then here, let's go over to the dollar. And then here I look at it. There's the Swiss. I mean, I think it's the other way around. The dollar was crushing everything. Interest rates are rising here. Let's just show you that real quick. Where are you? There is the 10-year, which has become the thing to be in. And then because the 30-year, like banging through the 3% area, I think it is. It's 1.3. No, I mean it's like 2.5%. And let's see, show you the 30-year. I'm sorry, 30-year right there. It's like I think it's like 2.4 or 2.2 or 2.3, right around 2.3. I think it is, because I think there's about a 1 percentage point arbitrage between 10 and 30 now, and you can see that's heading down, which means when these products go down, the 10-year and the 30-year, when they're moving down in price right here, that means interest rates are rising. And when interest rates are rising in old days, back in yesteryear, that would have made your currency go up in value. Nowadays, anything's a guess. As we take a sip of our tea. And so that's the action we're starting to see here. And they did rally it back and forth a few times, the stock indices, and now they're down again. And they pretty much since the London Open, it's been down. So I guess there's a little pressure there. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I mean, we're going to take a look at the crypto / indices / currency, as a quick, and interest rates / interest rates. Might as well take a look at it all. Oh, so now Bitcoin is down. I thought that was up last night. Huh. Okay, so overall, there's just, it could be the dead cat bounce. No, people are just taking some profits. It's been a heck of a good run. Mercury, for you all who pay attention to the astrological side, Mercury came out of retrograde Friday, and so there's usually like a 3-day event there. So you got all kinds of wonderful little things occurring, and giving direction. And then you can see here's the stock indice towards the lows of the day. Let's reload that like so. There we are. You can see we're flirting with a weekly here and a daily there, and then we go back to the currencies, and you can see we're staying inside the weekly. So obviously, if this is going up, the dollar is stronger. And then you can see here on a daily basis, let's just refresh that. On a day-to-day basis, the dollar shows a little weakness now after 4 days in a buy. And so, that's the action we're seeing here. Hey, Robin, how you doing? How was the second shot? Of okay? You holding up? I hope you got some sleep and so forth from it. Robin got his second shot of the coronavirus remedy, I guess you could call it. Antidote. I don't know what to call it. And so there it is. Now let's jump over to the euro. The euro closed in its, set it up for going into a buy on the opening of the next bar on Friday. And so it is in the buy. And you can see we went into the weekly buy, but now you got this weakness here. Oh, it's today you're getting it. Oh, not yesterday. I thought it was yesterday. They called you yesterday to let you know. I see. That's what it is. Ah, okay. And then the cable, you can see the cable is just singing away on the upside here, banging against Mr. Bollinger Band itself. Hello, John. How are you? And then let's see what else we got going on here. The weekly's been going on for a while here with the cable against the dollar. A lot of firmness there. So, and what else are we looking at here? I guess we can go through the currencies now that we're all in the saddle again. And so let's take a look at the Turkish Lira. Turkish Lira, what did that do? Let me look at that. That's line 17. Yeah, it's a 17. Yeah, it's in a sell, and now it's trying to turn back into a buy again. And I do see some action on the weekly. How about that? Look at that, right? Let's refresh that. You can see here, look at the weekly has actually turned up. It's actually turned up. How about that? Hooray for it. It's hasn't gotten through the negative side whatsoever, or it's not exactly screaming buy, but it is starting to turn up. And you can see last time it turned up, it took like 7 days before we started getting some buying, not a lot of buying, but some buying. And then let's take a look at Canadian. Canadian rolled over into the daily sell on Friday. That's line 20. You can see that 1 day in a sell. And it's going on a third week, starting this week, in a weekly sell. You see little pressure here. Just like when it went into the weekly sell over in here. And we had pressure for a bunch of weeks. And we went into the buy there a few weeks back. That didn't last long. Joined in with the daily at the end of it, which wasn't really good because by the time it confirmed it, we were already in a daily sell, so you couldn't take any of the longs here, especially that one. And then, you could see the pressure that did kick in from the sell. As we like to say a lot of times, daily buys and sells can lead to daily, weekly buys, type of thing. And that's where that was. And then let's put the little sell signal right there. There we go. So that's the action we're catching out of the currency market here. And let's zip over to the NASCAD. And because, let's see, let me just hit OK there. Just because we see the strength kicking into the Canadian, we would assume that we'll see some firmness in oil. And I did see oil up at one point, but that's hours ago. I haven't looked again. And let's look at the NASCAD right there and see what that's doing. Same thing, that's up. So again, the odds are getting heavy that we go over and take a look at the oil complex. Right there, there's April oil, and you can see the firmness in it today. Just refresh that to make sure it's still there. Yeah, so, but again, we're in a daily sell right here, so you can see it's just trying to move up. We're in a weekly buy, so you can't get shorted or something like that, out of this thing. You just know that you don't want to be long here. At that point in time, you go, okay, I don't want to be long here. Stay in, take some profits in the 60s, right? And then the thing falls down to 50, not far, 58.82. So, I mean, this only goes down like a buck and change, $2 tops. And so we're waiting to see this turn up, the join in again to the weekly. All right, and that's the beginning of looking at the energy complex. And we'll run back and forth from currencies to energies, and what else will we run back from? From the metals. Anybody? But if anybody wants to see anything now, just sing it, and we will put it up there. Let's take a look at the natural gas. There it is. There, they could not get this thing into a weekly buy. I'm sorry, a daily buy. They couldn't get it into a daily buy and it was in a weekly buy for all that time period. Now, you can see this week. It's starting to do the flirt with the weekly sell. We thought money refused to get involved in it because of the time of the year. And I guess you could say we're right about that. It was odd, but that's the way the math works, And you follow the math, and the math will set you free, make you profits. You can see here, it just refused to get into the buy. I mean, if you're short-term trading it and just trying to catch the little bounces, that's great. But, overall, our very conservative way of looking at the mathematics was let it do what it wants to do, and here we are, just 3 days later, finally back down to this area, and now we're flirting with a weekly, and that'll be interesting to see if we get into the weekly and we're in a daily, and who knows, maybe they drive it back down into these 240 or 260 area. Hey AR, how you doing? Oh, and there's Yuda. How you doing? Let's see. Yuda says, hello. Will a recording of this webinar be available later? Oh, yes, most definitely. So if you need to slip out and have breakfast or something like that, or lunch, or you got to get back to work, that's no problem. You just tune in again later on, and here we are. Let's see. AR says, hey, I would like to know about the GBPJPY. Well, let's check that out. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, too. And GBPJPY. There's the GBP Swiss. I think we turned the JPY into something. There's the Euro. Let's flip that over. Let's give it to you right on that chart. Right there. GBP. There we are. And let's do it again. Should have copied it too at the same time. There we are. Let's see how it looks, and we can fix lines and so forth. Obviously that sell's not there, so we can move that over. And that buy is not there. We can move that over. And that sell there is not there. Move that over, and then we can move that buy there because that buy is not there. And it looks like it's doing the same things that it did against the way it's doing it against the dollar. Let's see, it's been in a buy here. We can pull that out. Let's move that over here. We can get rid of some of these, can't we? I'm going to keep that big one, just in case we want to look at it. So it's been in a buy since early October, or October 16th, on a weekly basis. Obviously, we were looking at it one time. You can see this square here. So we've used this chart before. You can see it's been in a daily buy. What did it do? Did it go in to the daily sell here? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. So it went into a daily sell here, and the following day it went right back into the buy again. And obviously you could not take the sell, of course, because it was in a weekly buy here. You can see all that. And let's see, what else can we say about this? We're just going to straighten this all out for you. Move that over like so. Well, I could have used that instead of making one. Move that. I see. So there is the buy right there, and then we can grab that sell and move it over to here, and then we can take the sell. There's a sell right there, and the buy is right there. We'll see how many winner chicken dinners there were. And so then that sell is cool. Let's move that out of the way. Let's take this buy and move that there. Oh, and we can take this sell. Can we take that sell? Yeah, that's a sell. Is that a sell? Wait a minute, no. Right? Yeah, that's a sell. That's a buy. Okay, so that's good. And then I guess we have to put a sell in here. It's that one. So let's move that back over to that. Remember, we're in a weekly buy, so all you do is take the buys. The sells just tell you to take profits or just not be long. One or the other, take your choice, depending on what you are doing. In other words, if you're part of some type of trading desk and you have to have a position on, or you have to, satisfy a client, that type of thing. And there's a sell right there. And then there's a buy right there. Well, let's leave that there like this, and we'll just put one in like that. There's a buy there. There's no sell there because it's a red and a green, so it's a buy. There's a sell. That's not a buy. Let's move that over. That's a buy. That's the sell moves one over, like so. That one can be moved also over to here. All right. And so the way this works, traders, let's widen that a little bit so you can see it better. Oop. Yeah, we can move this over. So it went into the buy here. So now that you could buy on daily buys linked to the weekly buy. So there's a winner chicken dinner. And then that doesn't belong there at all. So we're just going to get rid of that and move that over to there like that. And then it throws a sell out there, but you don't short it because again we're in a weekly buy. And then there's the next. Move that back one like that. Then there's our next buy, and there's another winner chicken dinner. There's two in a row. And then it can't take the sell because it's a red and a green. That's why you can't take that. And you get the sell right here. And oh, you do get a buy right there. Let's put that in there. And it goes up a little bit, but turns into a sell the next day. So let's say it's 2 to 1. How's that? Let's play it fair. There's 2 to 1. Then you get a buy here. 3 to 1 win. 4 to 1. Yeah, I guess 4 to 1 in there. And then 5 to 1. Then 6 to 1, because you bought it here and it going up there. 6 to 1. 7 to 1. 8 to 1. 9 to 1. All right, so that's a pretty damn good one. We see the same thing going on. Let's save this for a second. Let's go over and look at cable dollar. This is both of them kind of function the same way. Right there. You see same action. And is it early October also? October 16th? Yeah. They both went into the weekly buys at the same time. And first one was, I'd say, I'll call that a loss. I mean, you might have, yeah, I call that a loss. So there's a 0. And then that makes your money back. That makes your money back. That's 2 to 1 win. 3 to 1, move them over. Or is that it right there? There's the buy, I guess. I think that's the buy. What is that? Let's remove whatever that is. There it is. And it's a hard one there, but it's a win. That's a 4 to 1. And then a 5 to 1. Yeah, 5 to 2. 6 to 2. Hard to say, but say it's 6 to 2 and leave it at that. More than likely you would have taken, I don't know, it depends on the trader who would have taken a loss. And there's a 7 win, let's put it that way. I won't say there's an 8 win. So it's a 7 to 2 or 7 to 3, take your choice. Depends on how you trade and how fast you are to take profits or how long you want to hold on to something, where your stop loss is, so forth and so on. So so that's the GBP Jpy AR. And let's see, Taeyang says, "Cuckoo, hey you, hey, how are you doing?" And AR says, "So I may buy now and keep it for 1 week." Let's see, let's go back to it. I like to get long at the beginning, not in the middle. So right there, there it is, right there. So the last good buy was right there. You can try to step up, especially with this kind of going down and coming through here. You know, that's usually an okay thing. So yeah, you can try that. Now we were looking for it to get into the which one's this? Oh, this is the cable yen. Yeah, so this looks relatively firm in here, but you wanted to be long from say the 147.82 area. Where's it trading now? 148.07. So it's already had its win-win chicken dinner. You get long here, you just put a stop in there to make sure that you don't take too much of a loss. It could go on for days. It's hard to say, but you know, look at it now. It's been in a buy for 3 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the 13th day in a daily buy. It's and when it comes to the weekly buy, it's been in a longer term trend. It's been in a weekly buy for 19 weeks now. So when we go back to, I'm just judging it because I don't watch it through this. I watch it through that. I've been thinking that we were going to be in the 142 range, the 138 range. This could stall out in here and start to move back down again. So have a stop in there if you're going to trade. If you're going to be long it, because we're in a daily and a weekly at this point, put a stop in there and make sure you don't get squeezed out of it. Let's see, get injured being long it, and it may take. And since it was in a, let me go back to it. Since it's been in a weekly buy for like 13. Today's the 13th day. It's awful hard to say let's get long now. You know what I mean? I don't like to get long. I like to always use the math to get long at the strike of the beginning of a move, not like 2/3 through. In this case here, 13 days. Is that it? Yeah, 13 days. So it's been in a buy for 13 days, and it's already climbed from. Where's it climbed from? Where's the buy at? Right there, right? So, what is that? That's 144.30, and it's trading now at 148.03. The math has done itself a good job already. So you're asking a lot to try to get long now. Right, exactly. Well, 13 days in the daily buy. It's compared to the last long streak was here. No, I guess this one. So it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 days, and just a little correction, nothing major, One of the things that's kind of interesting, if you take a look at this, and we'll shrink it down for you to see, and that is, and let's go like this, and widen it now. You can see that the weekly time manifold is making a curve, like it's doing, like it did here and like there. So it's telling us that it's starting to stall out a little bit, and so this could be a little top in here, and they may play that low or this low. I don't know if they'll go that deep, but keep an eye on it, and then think about if this is still on the daily buy. When you tune in the next time to watch it, get long, as long as it's in a weekly buy. Yeah, so it's high up. I like to get long. Use the math. When I use the math, I always get long on the signal and take a profit pretty fast and go on to the next trade. That's me. If you're using binaries or options, then you can carry a trade longer. But if you're just holding on to the underlying product itself, then obviously you've got more of a zigzag, saber tooth or sawtooth action going on. Right, exactly. And that's the way we play it. In other words, we're not here to trade, we're here to make money. That's the name of the game. Make money, not trade. So that is that. No problem at all, AR. Haven't seen you in a while. I do remember you, AR. You used to come in every so often months ago, right? Like half a year ago. Let's see. If you're the same AR. Maybe there's more than one AR. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Silver and gold? Sure. Okay, now silver. They keep on putting those crazy headlines out there about rip your face off silver rally. But I just don't see it. It just doesn't seem to be happening. In this case here, they closed on Friday. Let me widen this a little bit more. You see, we've been in a weekly sell since here. It's just gone sideways with this crazy explosion for 3 days, and then it sold off again. This is like the GameStop vigilantes. And you can see here we're up a little bit higher than Friday. I mean, there's Friday's. Is that Friday? That's Friday's close, right? So it settled at 27.25. And right now the product is trading at 27.46, so it's up 20 cents. But our work is telling us that it wants to go down. And so, you know, they ran it up. What's the high there? The high is 78 last night. And now, and the low is 34, so it's getting close to the close of yesterday, but you can see the pressure on it right there. It's widening this for you. And then, let's see, and then what was the other one? Was gold, right? Let's go check out Mr. and Mrs. Gold. And there is gold. Now gold has, you know, it's got the volatility signal coming out like this one here, but it's not really lifting as well. But you can see the histogram and the green line is through. So what we're going to do is this. We'll put a warning there because at the close of that bar, if the next bar is higher, then it's usually a safe buy. But the problem is that it's not, because what are we? We're in a weekly sell, and that's the problem. You can't take the buy because of that. So the best you can do is cover your short if you were trading off of this. You know, if you were short, this isn't a short since what is that? January 7th, and then this isn't a short since February 10th, where it fell from 1850 down to 1767, and now it's trying to turn up. So all you can really do is just cover a short. Everything is the quants. We follow the quant mathematics. Everything is that. I saw copper backing off, which was interesting. Look at copper. What a spike last night. We'll see if that's real. Sometimes they love to take this stuff out. Tomorrow that might not be as high, but right now they're reflecting a 420 high. It's beyond that even, right? 421.60. And so it's been in the weekly buy since here. It's been in the daily buy since here. I think Robin wrote something for it in bar charts. So, excuse me, a little frog in the old throat. And so copper is looking really, really strong. Robin was was thinking that what we're really seeing out of it all is we're seeing, you know, this movement for electrical devices, and so that means they need copper. Now here's platinum. We've been following the platinum spread. Long platinum, short gold, and we were watching proclaiming. We called it the Yellen spread, and we thought that it would go down to the 680, 690 area, and it did that with no problem from the $1,000 area where we were bearish at it. Let's just put gold on the J4X at the same time. Right there. You can see gold trading at 1794. And at the same time, platinum is trading at 1280. So 1280 minus 1794. That is 516. We've seen it down to 496. So this spread has made over $500 to what we're looking for. That's a pretty interesting move over the last month, 2 months, something like that, month and a half. I forget when we put that article out. We've put a couple articles out about it, but that's it. Titus, yo, what's happening? Welcome to the hood. And so that's kind of interesting. There is we're seeing the pressure on the platinum just a little bit today. Nothing major. The spread at 516 is still pretty good. You know, it's going to vacillate back and forth around the $500 area just because of Fibonacci and all that other stuff that everybody pays attention to. So that is the action in the metals complex. So did that satisfied you, AR? We got all the metal complex done. We can take a look at this. If you see anything you want, just yell it out, any of you. But also at the same time, you can see here's the stock indices. Here's the NASDAQ 100, or on Dukascopy, they refer to it as the Tech 100. Let's put it up on there. Right there, the Tech 100. And let's see, did not close in a sell on Friday. Just gave us a volatility signal, and here it's starting to get pressure on it. We'll see how well that lasts. And I did mention for you astrological traders, Mercury came out of retrograde on Friday, so we were riding a little short there to begin with because of that, and we're a little happy today because, and Robin, finally we can get rid of that position, eh? Oh, it's sitting on the bid is 1 cent away from our offer, so we'll make a full 16 cents out of that. 14, 15, 16 cents. Yeah, 616 times. That's not too bad. So we're looking forward to getting out of that position. It's been torturing us for a while now. All right, now this is the NASDAQ, as I said, or the Tech 100. And you can see the pressures on that. Besides Mercury going retrograde, same thing here on the S&P. And you can see they're both flirting with their weeklies, too, at the same time. Did I put that in there on the other one? There we go. Change the color. They're both flirting with weeklies like they've done before, but this time it's looking like it's got a grip. We'll see. We shall see. And that's the S&P 500, which is what I always like to think is the world index, solely because 50% of the companies are incorporated in the United States, and the other 50% of the companies in that index are incorporated outside the United States. So that's pretty cool. That's truly a worldly index. There we are. Oh, and I could put red line in there. I should do that too. Like that. Let's see. I thought I'd buy gold and silver, but I was not sure. I would steer clear it. I mean, they're in weekly sells. That's, again, you want to make money, not necessarily be long the metals. If you want to be long metals physically, go to one of those stores and pick up some coins. You know what I mean? I when it comes to these trading products, they're more of an intraday play at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Gold might, not there. Gold might, get into that buy tomorrow. We'll see. I was a little surprised to see the cryptocurrency week. That's a surprise. Really thought it was going to be strong, I had heard that it had hit 58,000. And so I thought, ooh, what are they going to do? Use this as a way to get rolling. But all of a sudden, it's joining in with the rest of the stock market here. And then right here, you can see this has been the leader, the Russell, in many ways. And it has a lot of GameStop type of stocks in it, really having their issues. And you can see it's trying to play with a weekly sell. You see it's fighting to go. It's been in a daily sell. See, it was a red and a green here, so it couldn't go into the buy. Now this was in a daily sell since there, but it's in a weekly buy, and now we're starting to flirt with this sell. So that is the action we're seeing there with the Russell 2000, which is kind of like the old NASDAQ before the NASDAQ became a very mainstream #1 market in the world. So right now, the NASDAQ 100, or that exchange, the NASDAQ, trades 7 billion shares a day on average, and the New York Stock Exchange trades about 1 billion shares. It's flip-flopped. It's actually flip-flopped from the old days, where it used to be the other way around. And we're seeing the same thing here with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is kind of funny because remember the Dow Jones Industrial Average is a marketing tool of the New York Stock Exchange. And let's see, cancel. I'm going to make that red. And the New York Stock Exchange index now has 6 NASDAQ stocks in it. So this index has 6 NASDAQ stocks. So it's not a sole product of the New York Stock Exchange anymore. And so that's where we are when it comes to understanding the way we see these products trade and where they trade and why they trade and all those magical things that I'm saying there. AR says Bitcoin is weak, I know. What's that all about? I thought you would think that they'd be reaching for that thing. Let's go look at it. I thought for sure they'd be reaching for it. Look at it. They're selling it down. Let's give it a refresh. And it's what? It's the high is 5,707.90. So, and it went down to 52.8. That's almost like what's that? A $5,000 swing. And right now it's trading at it's like $4,000 off its high. That's like, wow. I thought that would be a flight to safety. I saw headlines last week and articles about the cryptocurrencies have now become the flavor of choice for metals traders. And so that is curious, that we're seeing that type of action. You would have thought that they would be reaching for these cryptos and not selling them. Sometimes you see selling because it's needed. You got to take a profit. You take a profit this way. You can use the capital for something else. So that's a good possibility. What's going on here? Matter of fact, you can see it right there. Right now, it's flirting with the daily sell. Right there. It's still in the buy. So that's the action we're seeing there. Now over here on as we showed you on the 10-year, you see it's moving down. It's been in a sell since here, or I guess that's wrong. It should be over here at this point. That was a red dot when we put that in there, but anyway, we'll just move it over for that. And it's been in a weekly sell, so it's caught that move there. Now over on the 30-year, it's the same way. That pressure has been on since here. They didn't change that. Let's refresh that. There we are. And it's in the weekly sell there. So it's caught that whole ride down. The math is very diverse. The quantitative math is very diverse. It's capable of looking at little teeny weeny little stocks. Robin plays some small little stocks, and he's made some good dinero from it. And at the same time, it follows the 30-year. It follows the metals. It follows the cryptos. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to. We're in a weekly buy, daily sell. So this is probably more like a dead cat bounce. In this case here, they need to take some profit. Remember, the idea of a lot of these funds is to make money. So they've got to take some type of profit. And some of these products are not very liquid. And so what happens, it forces, anybody doing a little selling in there can make it look a little bit more exciting than it really is. By the end of the day, it might be back above, and, let's see, let's go back over to it again. It could, we'll see what happens by the end of the day. Let's see, where are we at? That was cryptos, right? Yeah. So right there, it's flirting with the sell right now because see, let's widen. Let's do this. See, both the white line, the green line, and the histogram both are minus at the moment. Now we'll see if it settles like that tonight. But we're in weekly buys since like back there. Where's it at? Right there since the green line. It's not filling in. I'm not sure why, but it's been in a buy since there on the weekly side of it. So, the histogram is showing you that it's, it's in a buy. So there's not much to be worried about at the moment when it comes to the weakness. They might be down for a day or two or do something and then probably turn up again. I would think it's just capital coming in or sellers coming in to capitalize on the win. I mean, there was an article somewhere I was reading today about it. They were talking about how, if you bought in the fall. Oh, I know, it was Elon Musk. Elon Musk bought Bitcoin, right? And with what's the name of that company? Tesla, that he has. And he bought like, I don't know, $1 billion worth or something. It's worth like $3 billion now or something like that. So what he made in crypto for the company is like twice as much as he made in automobiles. So in some ways the Tesla car company is like a fund more than it is a car manufacturer. It's a battery for sure. It's a great battery manufacturer. I mean, the battery technology is the best of the best. But overall, that's really where we're at the moment. So yeah, maybe it'll be weak for a day or two. Look how it acted over here when we went into a sell. It went sideways up. I mean, it really. We're in a weekly buy, so every time it goes into a buy, it tries to go up in value. It goes back into the buy here, and then a couple of days later, it gives you the sell. It goes down a couple thousand, but not anything major. And before you know it, it's back in the saddle again on the upside. This one here, that was winner winner chicken dinner on the long side. So. Let's see. Oh yes, Tesla. Let's see. It probably sold them already. Oh yeah. Who knows with him? Anything's possible. Tesla is accepted. Bitcoin. The world is. We're at the moment. I see. Yeah. And it's okay. Robin says Tesla billionaire Elon Musk, whose tweets about the meme-based cryptocurrencies, Dogecoin, helped push it up to 10 billion valuation, has warned the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum seem high. Yeah, he says that stuff. It's interesting. He's like a fund more than he is in a car manufacturer, and a car manufacturer in many ways, he's more of a battery manufacturer. His battery technology is just cutting edge. He has everybody at the National Science Foundation like in a trance. They just love what he's doing, and that's the kind of the flavor of it all. All right, and so that's where we are with the crypto there. Now, let's see, and it probably does. It probably is high. I mean, it's gone from what's it done since I don't know, since January 1st. What's it gone up? It's gone up $20,000, something like that. I think that's what it is. That's pretty cool, That's pretty powerful. It's gone up 50% in value. I mean, that's. I'll tell you, the cryptos trade the way metals people think metals should trade. I'm not sure about metals anymore when it comes to trying to, define their action. All I can say is that I'm totally 100% convinced through math that what we see with metals is that we see a central bank that uses it as a currency. That I am totally 100% convinced. Matter of fact, anything denominated in dollars is being used as a currency as far as I can tell. And so, sometimes when we see, Bitcoin being transacted, and I guess they're converting back into dollars, then it's being utilized also as like a surrogate currency. I mean, that's pretty much what's going on throughout the whole world at this point. If something is denominated, in other words, is traded actively in the metals, in the dollar market, in a sense, or in dollars, then what happens is that it becomes a currency, because you can take the derivatives, the option derivatives, the binaries and so forth, and you can turn them into synthetics. And so that's part of the game that's going on there. Indeed. All right. What else can we say about that? Anybody else have an opinion? Would you like to see some other product we can dissect? But that is really what it comes down to, is that everything now is anything traded heavily in size, like oil. Oil is traded enormous. It's like the third, bonds are number one, currencies are number two, and then oil is number three, and if you're trading it, you can hedge it with options and turn it into a synthetic, and that's what is going on there. Oh, AR says, Doc, how did you become a trader? They legalized options, and back in the 70s. So they removed the zero-sum factor, and when they did that, a lot of us math wonks went into it. I got a job at the American Stock Exchange. I applied for it, that is. And by the time I was offered the job, I took a job at the Philadelphia Stock Exchange. Logistics. And so it was at the beginning of the era of option derivatives. So AR, let's see, what is so AR says, how do I become a trader? Well, do your work, constant discipline. Simulating trades through a lot of these services would be a good way. Build a concept that you're going to use. In other words, build your tools that you use. We always say in trading, especially on the floors, we used to say, what gets you into a trade gets you out of a trade. So in other words, if you're using, let's say, like here, I'm using my quant work here on British pound here. Okay, so obviously I go into a weekly buy, and now I am willing to buy every daily buy and take a profit. And so in this case here, I think it was 7-3 or 7-2, and one with a big question mark. And then if we go over and look at it here, right there, is that this is the 9-1. This is Gbpy, Jpy. So this is 9-1 wins. Okay, and so what gets you into the trade, what gets me into that trade, is my quantitative analysis. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to become a trader. What you need to do is you need to build a system. Now you can see over here on J4X we have some public indicators that commingle right here. You see these here. This is a slow stochastic against a fast stochastic. We're using the old relativity thing going on there with a CCI as some type of strength. And so, yes, I did. That was the tail end of my profession, I guess you could say. I worked for a couple of hedge funds at the same time. Not only did I work for one hedge fund, I worked for two world-renowned traders and funds. And so I went from exchange floor to exchange floor trading derivatives as the derivatives universe grew. And that's how I met Robin in Chicago. I started trading at the Chicago Merc currencies and stock indices there, and I had a group. I had a trading group, and so I had people at other exchanges, and we were arbitraging things and trading the options and doing all kinds of stuff. But whatever gets you into a trade, back to the fundamentals here, how to be a trader. What gets you into a trade gets you out of a trade. So in other words, you build your tools. Remember, in my day when I started, we were reactive. We were on a trading floor. Orders were coming at us. On a trading desk, orders were coming at you. So you didn't have to think up too hard. You just had to react to what the order was coming at you. You were trying to buy it on the bid, sell it on the offer. Okay? Then the exchanges pretty much disappeared, and so now we are proactive. So in other words, we use quantitative analysis. I used this to adjust my option deltas back in the 70s and the 80s and 90s and turn of the century and so forth. I used all this quantitative analysis I've been using for over 40 years. And so what you do is you need to build a tool system that's going to make that proactive decision for you. And you're going to do it together, the system and you. And you become disciplined and you paper trade it, do the simulation trades for 3-6 months. Get used to it. Make sure you go through every type of market that there is, in the sense of wild markets and easy markets and crazy markets and insane markets and whatever. You just do that. And then there's plenty of places offering money for you to trade for. And once you've built your tools up and you're confident, then you can go to one of them and say, okay, I'd like to trade. This is what I've been doing on paper, and I've been doing this for like 3 or 6 months, and I feel really comfortable. And then you can do it that way, or put a little money together and try to do it live for a little bit, either one, and just go work for somebody. And so I went from, it was hard to get to the hedge fund universe. The hedge fund universe is a very hidden, it's like Shangri-La, it's like hidden. behind a mountain. Time doesn't move. It's a very strange industry. And so it took a lot of work for me to get into the hedge fund industry. But it happened. It took a while, but I figured it out. And succeeded in there. Made hundreds of millions. So, you know, it takes a lot of training and practice to become a trader. And I guess the key word, if you had to find one word to define becoming a trader, the word is discipline. You have to build discipline. And then you take the cute little words I always come up with, the cute little sayings like what gets you in gets you out, you know. Oh, you know, if you're not taking a profit when if you don't take a profit when you're making money in a position, then when the next time you're selling it is when you're losing money, things like that, you know. Discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Let's see. Who is that? Oh, yes. Michael, yes. And so that's the answer to all of it in the end result. And so that's the key right there. There's plenty of money. It's an electronic age. You don't even have to be standing in an office anymore. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to this age. Also, there's a lot of sadness, too, in the sense of, you know, without the camaraderie and the experience around you, you know, it makes it tougher, you know. That's it. Discipline and determination. And you just have to, you know, follow that over and over again. And you'll get comfortable. You'll get right with a system. And then, you know, you can go shop yourself out. And that's usually the way it goes, especially in this era. All right. Let's see. What else do we got going on here? So, let's see. What other product area? Let's see. Let's just go through the currencies a little bit more. I want to see what the ruble's doing this morning. There's the ruble. Yeah, they put it in a buy a couple days ago, right there. That was the daily buy right there, and we were in the weekly buy. So it's moving up. That's nice. That was Thursday of last week, and so it's catching the wave there. Let's see. Who else am I looking at? See what the Zolti's doing. That's a really strong currency. In a weekly sell for 4 weeks here. And it's trying to go into a buy there. Let's give it a refresh. But that's a really good product also. Very safe, very solid, that Polish currency against the euro. And then, who else have we not looked at around here? Oh yeah, Euro GBP. I'm sure that's moving down, down, and down. Yeah, because we've seen the cable. It's, you know, it's been in a weekly sell since here, and it gets a little sloppy on the. You know, I mean, there's a sell right there. That was a nice win. And it gets sloppy, and then it goes into a sell here. Where is it? Like there, and it doesn't really go. I mean, the next day is a win, but then it pops back up. That's why. You know, sometimes you have to just accept the idea that you're going to take nice little victories. Take them over and over and over and over. I think one of the greatest calamities, especially in this volatile era, is the idea that you think you can let your profits run. I say you just take your profits. And you run. To me, that's the answer to it all. If you keep on taking profits, then all you do is slowly increase your size, but not the duration that you're invested. And so, to me, take your profits and run. Take your profits and run. Just get used to the idea. This idea that you can buy something or sell something and ride it out, you know, unless you do it through options and binaries, it's just not realistic. You got to do it through options and binaries if you want to let your profits run. But if you're just trading the hard delta, you know, the underlying product itself, there's a lot more risk in there. So, you know, one moment you're winning and you're really happy, the next moment you're losing and you don't understand why. It's because you didn't take your profit. The market gave you the profit. The tools told you to get out. Or the tools told you to get in, and your money management should tell you to get out and take a profit. and then start over somewhere else. Find another product that's going into a buy or a sell that's your trading tools are telling you to trade. And that's really the answer to it all. And that's where that discipline and determination comes in. You have to accept the idea that you're going to make money and you're supposed to keep it. And so if you want bigger money out of the trade, then trade a larger size. But not try to make the work, your tools, do more than you have to. In other words, imagine if you're using an old-fashioned hammer and the hammer drops and you got a screwdriver. It's a big screwdriver, but it's still just a screwdriver. So now you'd grab the screwdriver from the metal side of it and you're using the handle to hit it, the nail, the rest of the way in. It's not going to work too well. You know, what it really comes down to, use the right tool at the right time. And that's it. Take a profit and run. You do that, you'll have no problem finding somebody backing you money-wise. They're all out there advertising to put people into that position. And that's the key to it all. Take a profit and run. Now, if you use options, that's a whole different game. I mean, pound for pound, I've made more money in options than I have in hard delta. And I've made some interesting, hundreds of thousands and hundreds of millions in the hard delta side, but they were leaned up against portfolios. Whereas I've done some stumbling and bumbling, and in the right way in the options world, and have made incredibly much bigger money because your risk is less. And so that's the real answer, is to reduce the risk and increase the potential of profit. And then you can increase the size. And that's really the answer to the whole thing. All right. Let's see what else we got brewing here. Excuse me. Let's see. What other product didn't we see? Oh, yeah. You know what? Someone mentioned this on Friday about the way the dollar, the Aussie dollar went into a buy. We've been in a buy for a long while. What is that? Line 12? 17 weeks in a weekly buy. And we saw this thing climb into a buy. I think someone was looking at like Aussie yen or something like that, and it went into the buy on Thursday, and then Aussie dollar went into a buy on Friday. You can see it's up a little bit today, right there. Doc and DAX. Okay, let's see what the DAX looks like. Now this is the ETF. Right there. Let's give it a refresh. Now that's interesting, is it went into the sell here. Let's put that in there. There's a sell. Now, did it go into the buy there? No. See, plot 1 is a minus. And obviously it didn't do it there. And then today, that's Friday. And see, plot 1 again is a minus. So you can see here, it's been in the sell since here. Fell down. And you can see the daily kept you out of some trouble. Put you back. Told you at least to cover here when you're short and it's in a sell. And you can see it, it was in a buy to there, and then it went back in the sell. That's where it pushed it into the sell there. Yeah, no. Plot 1 is a plus, so it's the next day. So it puts you in the sell there. See that? Plot 1 is a minus. Plot 6 is a minus. Because remember, it's a super. So there's the 5. And so then it was in a sell, still in a sell there. Tried to go into the buy on Friday? No, that's Thursday. So it tried to go in there. See, plot 1's a plus, and plot 6 is a 0. There's no minus in front of it. So it's telling you to cover. And then Friday it spikes up. but it's still in a weekly sell, so you can't be long coming into the day. And I imagine once they update that, I imagine it will be minus. Just, I figure the whole world is joining in at this point. I hope that helped out. All right, traders, we will catch you Tuesday. Today is Monday. TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. And we will catch you on the flip side tomorrow. So this is Doc from North America saying arrivederci. Happy trails to you until you meet again. Happy trails to you, to all my cyber trading friends.